Rebecca's going to be talking about the Stockholm Metro extension, where I suspect possibly you may be talking about some reductions in materials, but who knows? So over to you.
Thank you, Paul. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer for inviting me here today. I would like to present one of Sweden's largest infrastructure projects at the moment, the new City Stockholm Metro extension. It's a joint venture of the County Council and the nearby municipalities, and it's divided into 4 sub-projects. FUT is the organization I'm representing here today. We are part of the County Council, and we are responsible for enabling planning, design, and build of the new metro. Then we are handing over the metro to our sister organization that will handle the metro maintenance and operation, as they do with the metro today. We started planning in 2014, and we will be open for traffic in 2026, hopefully. Oh, and the metro consists of 11 new stations in total, divided up on the 4 sub-projects, and also 20 kilometers of new track. When we are finished, the metro will be a more sustainable transportation system, but we will also have a significant carbon footprint through our construction. Therefore, we have implemented a process to reduce carbon footprint. And this is the initial, in a very easy illustrated way, the process. So we start with an initial cost calculation, as you do in every project. And then we adapt Trafikverket, the Swedish transportation's tool, to calculate climate. This is then used as information to identify what is the main contributors to the carbon footprint in this project. And this, I would say, is the most important step within the whole process, to use this information. Just don't stop at doing the calculation. You need to use this information and put it into the project in an action plan or in some other way that you identify measures to reduce the carbon. And then you have to follow up, of course, and see the result. I will present how we use this process during the initial design phase of the metro. As I said, 11 new stations is going to be built, and as a way to streamline and efficientize the design process, WSP developed a template station that is to be used on all the stations, on all the lines, on all the sub-projects. So this template station is in the initial design. And here is how it looks. And we did a carbon calculation on this solution. This information was presented to the project team. This is how it looks. As you can see, concrete, steel, and excavation are the main contributors. We can all agree about that. But then we use this information to identify different measures. And this is the key point. We engaged all the project teams to identify how can we work with reducing carbon. How can you work? How can we work together? What can we do? And this is some of the measures that we identified. And actions were taken. And this is the result. This is version 2 of the same template station. And if you compare the 2 stations to each other, you can see a 40% reduction of carbon. And you can also see that we cut cost with 20%. So I was so happy with this morning's talk. We all show the same thing: cutting carbon, cutting costs. So we all can all agree about that. And we have done this without affecting the stations or the traveler's experience in a negative way. We worked a lot with the technology that is being used for the stations to drive the metro. And this is nothing that you see in everyday traveling using the metro. When we did this process in the initial design phase, we didn't have any carbon targets, but now we have. And sustainability is to be integrated in the project using SQL. I know Ian will tell you more about SQL, so I won't go into that. But it's a very good way for us to measure how we're working with sustainability in all different sub-projects. We also have now a target when it comes to climate to reduce it with 25% during the whole project, design and build, and also no serious health and safety accidents. This is a picture of how we're using this process in the overall project time frame. So the example that I just showed you was from the initial stage, the template station. And we worked with the process, we did a reduction, and we can put it to the bank later on to sum up in the end. As the same in project planning, we did a calculation and we did a design and we put it into the bank and put it up to the sum of reductions. And now we're in the construction document phase. And we are working, and now we have the sustainability target to lean against and work. So in the first two phases, it was driven by saving costs. Now we have saved the costs. Now we have to have another driver. So now we have the carbon target. And this will go on until the metro is finished and handed over to our sister organization. And all the blue boxes represent the carbon footprint, and you can see they are increasing for every step. So does this mean we're a failure or what? No, it means we know more and more about the project. We get more and more information about the geotechnical conditions, the reality. The template station was a very early version. So it's up to us to work with this in every step, because it will increase because we are doing more and more detailed design. We're doing more and more detailed construction. So we need to work in every step of the process with these issues. But the overall goal is to end up with 25% reduction in the end. I would like to sum up that there is a clear synergy between cutting carbon and cutting cost. But carbon is another way to illustrate to the organization or to other interest parties how optimization and value engineering is driving the project forward. Instead of just talking about cost, we can talk about carbon and what we are contributing with. We have also seen that there are major reductions to be made. There are a lot of studies showing that, but they aren't implemented in the project. Why? So the goal of FET and this process is to show that it is possible, you can implement it, but you need to have a clear process on how to implement it in your project. And finally, sustainability and carbon has given the project team a platform to talk about challenging the design. Agneta, you said that this industry is quite traditional. We have to challenge these traditions, but we have to give them an arena. And this platform is that arena. They challenge themselves, they challenge each other, and they challenge the whole industry. Thank you.